Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video I want to talk about list pages and item pages for Wix CMS and show you a couple of common issues that you might run into as you're building out your content management system inside of Wix Studio. So let's go ahead and get started. So over here on the left hand side I have my CMS, which is the content management system inside of Wix Studio. And there's two types of dynamic pages that I want to talk about today, and those are the list page and the item page. So I have my collection in here that I want to use as the example of for our video today, and I have this pre-set up with some different things. It's a really simple collection, which is also another word for data set or database, but I have my page title and my URL, and then I've intentionally left this field blank because I want to cover that as part of the video. So I have this collection here called Wix Support, and I'm going to create a collection on my website, or I'm going to add some dynamic content through dynamic pages. So this is my home page right now. It just has one section. It's got the hero section and the header and footer. So I'm actually going to create a new page. I'm going to go to my pages over here on the left hand side, add a new page, and I'm going to add a dynamic page. So these are the two pages in particular that I want to talk about, this list page and item page, and go over a couple of things. So I'm going to create the list page first, and you can create a list page and an item page for one collection. So I'm going to create the Wix Support list page. I'm going to click Add to Site, and it's going to create all my lists for listing every single item that I have that's listed as visible. So you can see it's starting to pull in information here. It pulled in the page title, and it has a button here, but the button isn't connected to anything. So I'm going to go in and create my item page now. So I'm going to go into the pages and create my item page and go to the Wix Support and go to Add to Site. And now it's going to create a page for every item in my collection. So the list page is where it's going to list all the items all on one page. The item page is where you get a new page created for every single item in your collection. And in my case, I think I have more than 50. I have 90 items. So 90 item pages were created for the item page, and then we have on the list page, we have all 90 items listed here. And you can kind of see that this field, at least right now, is populating data. This field is connected to the page title. Okay, so let's go into the collection, and this is where I wanted to show some of the things that you might run into as you're building your collection. So this is the list page, and here's my item page URL. So as soon as I added the two different dynamic pages, then these by default are created. And you can see here that this is where the slug lives. So this is called the URL slug. So this is how Wix CMS generates a unique URL for every single item page. And right now this is left blank. And so this field over here, which is supposed to be the item for my collection, the item URL is blank too. And that's because there's nothing in this box. So if you're ever creating a collection and you're leaving this blank, you won't be able to use the Wix item. That won't work at all. You need something in this field in order for it to work. So that's the first thing I want to point out. And then the next thing is linking that up on the list page. So let's say that I actually wanted these fields here as my title. There's a couple of things I can do. I can move these over just by dragging down in my table all the way to the bottom and copying these, and then I can paste them in. And you just see as soon as I paste those in, it puts in the unique URL for every single item page. So that's one way to do it. You can also right click, or you can just regular click on these three dots, and you could duplicate this field or duplicate field with content. So that's the one I would probably do. So if you wanted to have like a test field almost with the field content here that you could copy from and paste so you don't mess up this page title field, you could also do that too. I'm going to go in and delete this field now because I don't really need it. So the slug page here from what I've found inside of Wix CMS, and there may be an answer to this that I don't know, but there's no way to move that slug to a different field. So it's going to always live in this first column of your CMS by default, and I haven't found a way to move this slug over to this field, because that would be the easy solution, would just be to move it over here versus there. I haven't found a way to do that. You can make a different field the primary field. So for example, I just switched this field to the primary field, and that's where the flag is, but it didn't move the slug over. So just wanted to share that you can move the primary field, but you can't seem to move the slug field as of right now, unless there's a way to do it that I'm unaware of. So now that I have this slug field in here, and I have my links in here, then what I want to do is I want to set these buttons to, I'm going to change these to learn more. I want to set these buttons to have a click action to go to my item page. So here I'm listing all the items, but I want to make it so you can actually go to the specific item page. And so I'm going to set my click action for this button to the Wix support item. So now that I've done that, these buttons will all link up to those items, specific items in those pages. And just for the sake of this example, let's just get these smaller. And we will align our stack to the center here. It might already be aligned. Yes, it is. So we have the title and we have the button, and then I'll preview this so we can see this working in action. So now when I hover over these, I should be going into the item page, and here I am. So I haven't gone in and designed my item page, but this takes me into the specific item page. And then if I drop this down, you can see that there are all my items here, all 90 of them, which is a lot of items. So if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't gone in and added the slug field, even if I set this click action to the item page, it wouldn't do anything. So I could still set the click action to the item page, but it wouldn't actually take me there. So that's really important to make sure that you have the slug field filled in, and that you have that way you can use the item page. And I just want to talk about the differences between these two pages for a second. So this one, like it says, it's a list of all of them, and it's going to be just a comprehensive list of everything. The item page is where you would have the specific item here. So if you're doing anything where you are displaying and collecting content, that's something to think about, because as you collect content, that has to be done at the item level. So that's something for another video where you can use input fields and you can collect dynamic data, but hopefully it's making sense why there's an item page for each individual item, and a list page that has all of the items in it. Okay, so those are really important things to remember, and if you are running into issues like, hey, I have my collection set up, but I can't link it to the item page, it might be because there's no slug in the there's no content in that slug field. But this is a really common use case for Wix CMS, to have the list page and then have it go deeper into the item page. And there's so many things you can do with Wix CMS. You can collect data, like I said, you can display dynamic data, you can have multiple data sets on specific pages. And these ones that we looked at today, these examples are dynamic pages, but you can also have dynamic content on regular pages, on static pages, by adding those data sets. So just wanted to cover a couple things with this and show an example of connecting this button to the item from the list page, because that's something that if you use the CMS, you'll do all the time. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next video.